Hi, my name is Reinhardt and this is my wife Lizelle. That's our boy Reinhardt. Reinhardt is autistic, he's 5 years old. But you don't just really say autistic, you more say he's on the spectrum of autism. So, say hello Reinhardt.
Hallo.
Waar heb ik voor ons?
Hi.
Reinhardt was born via natural delivery. It was a bit of a complicated birth, but there wasn't actually problems with his APGAR scores and stuff like that. We first noticed something was wrong, I think, when he was 15 to 18 months old. He wasn't on his milestones with his talking.
Yeah, he didn't respond to his name and things like that. So you'd call him and it seemed like we thought he's just ignoring us.
We had hearing problems.
Yeah, so that was our first concern. We took him for hearing tests and things like that, but he doesn't have any hearing problems and he's not ignoring you, he's just in his own world. Yeah, we noticed something like we said when we saw he didn't respond, and then he got further behind with his speaking. So we didn't immediately realize it's autism. We just thought he's a late talker. And we had a lot of pressure from the school saying this kid, a lot of denial from us. I just said, no man, she kept saying there's something wrong with the kid. I said, no, he's just talking late, my cousin talked late, he talked late, I talked late. So we didn't worry about that at all. But as it got later and later and he wasn't talking, I mean, he used like 2 words and maybe you can tell more, love, but I mean...
Then we started with occupational therapy, the next step. And even though, because all the other things was on, his milestones was on date, even the occupational therapist didn't think it's autism. And she said about at the age of 4, we can go and have a formal test. So that's when we went to Dr. Griesel in Bloemfontein and he made the diagnosis.
Yeah, and then he said he's on the spectrum. So they do a test of about like, no one autistic child is the same. So you can't say he's got autism, so he's got this and this and this. There's a bunch of stuff that autistic kids have, and each one has got a different combination of those things, a different form of deviancy. So he scored like 6, so he said to him he's like medium on the spectrum of autism, and he's high functioning in the sense that he's cognitively high functioning. So he's quite intelligent and everything. He just cannot always cope emotionally, and he cannot necessarily speak well or understandably, especially at that stage, almost not at all. We are fortunate in the sense that he can make contact with people. Many autistic kids can't look you in the eye and won't greet you, he does. So he actually likes people, which helps a lot. The problem is he gets completely overstimulated. I'll tell a story where I realized something was wrong. Was when we were in McDonald's. What age was he?
He was about 3 years old.
He was about 3 years old. And we were having fun, everybody's laughing, the other boys, because we've got an older son and a younger son, they were fun, we were eating ice cream. Well, at that stage I don't think we had a younger son. He was very small. We were eating ice cream and everybody was happy. He was sitting next to me, I was giving ice cream, and then I took the stirrer of the coffee cup and I took it from his ice cream and wanted to give it to him, and he freaked out. Like completely freaked out. So much so that 20 minutes after we can't calm him down, we had to leave the place. And things like that happened a lot, where you go into a mall and for no apparent reason,
you had a meltdown.
Yeah, you would have a meltdown and freak out, and you have to leave the place. And it puts a lot of strain on a family. As it was a challenge on our relationship because it is emotionally strenuous. You can't do normal things that normal people do, they take it for granted. And especially you get emotional strain when you see your kid is suffering. There was a situation where we went to Fontaine Memorial and I showed them ant lions. And throwing in ants, and the ant lions catch the ants. And they were excited. It was the first time him and his brother saw it, so they ran in and the older brother was explaining to his mom and he was excited like any normal kid. And this one wanted to join, but he can't speak. So what he did is he fell on the ground and he acted out the scene. But I could see in his eyes how desperately he wanted you to understand what he was saying. And that just, it tears you apart. I mean, you feel so sorry for your kid. You wish you can do something to help him, and you don't know what to do. You can't see how you will survive in a normal world. So you worry. You pray not to worry, but you do worry. You worry a lot about your kid, and I think that strain, that strain goes through everything, because you worry and you worry and you worry. And where's your kid gonna go? The school doesn't want him there anymore. They say, well, he's now in the
class.
Yeah, he's now in this. He's bigger, but he's still in a small class. He's keeping so they put pressure, and there's nowhere to go. So that was the kind of things that really made it difficult for us. Yes, when we had a lot of pressure from the school, they didn't want him anymore because they couldn't handle him. So what do? There was nowhere to go. So we realized we'd have to make a plan. And we came into contact with people that's really passionate about autistic children, helping them, Autism Assist. And when we met these people, they had the know-how about autism. And the role I have the know-how about organization. And so when we got together, we decided we're going to start a school. We're going to start a little school for kids with autism. And we started it at Maxima. You can't just have 20 kids. You need very intensive care for these kids. So you have 4 in a class or 5 in a class, but you still got to pay a salary. So we had to find ways to raise money and stuff like that. And that's where we are. I think we're doing really well. The school Maxima has been incredible for him and for other kids for the development, because they are skilled people who help these kids. And we've got a place for him to go. He's happy. So if he's happy, it helps us as a family a lot to cope.